quite a special situation right now because I'm standing at the booth of a company which I founded, and of course I'm the host of the GreenTech Festival 2021, but I want to be honest with you, I know this guy quite well. He's my colleague and co-founder of the company as well. Tilman Fleur, thanks a lot for joining us at the GreenTech Festival.
My pleasure.
Tilman, we are part of the GreenTech Festival the second year in a row. Why did we decide to come here?
Firstly, because the first time was great, and secondly, because we want to repeat to meet great companies, new startups, and just collaborate and extend our network.
The slogan is a holistic solution. What do you mean by that?
Well, we want to see that we can solve the whole plastic crisis holistically, which means we integrate technology and humans. And saying that we use technology means we want to use, for example, artificial intelligence to detect the litter, then collect it via our cleanup technologies, but then also recycle the material and bring it back into the cycle.
And what makes you different from the other ocean cleanup initiatives?
I believe the main difference is that we see the problem and the solution holistically. So seeing that we not only use technologies but also educate the people and motivate, inspire them to live a more sustainable life. And the other thing is that we have a very flexible and efficient technology that can work actively but also passively, and I believe this is the main difference.
How does the technology look like?
For example, what you can see here is our garbage collection boat, GreenTech, and it's basically, I'm not sure if you can see it directly, it's basically a small boat that can operate in rivers and on lakes and collect up to 25 tons of waste per day.
And do you have ongoing missions?
Currently not, but we just returned from the Balkan regions. So from at the beginning of this year we were in Bosnia, after this in Serbia, and then we went to Venice for a short stop to show our boat there.
And what was the situation like in the Balkan region? Because everybody's talking about plastic pollution in Asia and in Africa. How's the situation over there?
It's drastic as well. I mean, if anyone has seen the pictures of the Visegrad Dam in Bosnia, it's quite obvious that Europe also has a problem. And to be honest, it doesn't really help to point the finger to Asia, because quite some problems that they have also result from the waste that countries like, or the mix of countries from Europe generate. So it's always helpful to show that we also have problems in Europe ourselves. So the situation is drastic, and we not just want to operate in the Balkan region, but also, of course, want to go to Southeast Asia and Africa.
How can someone support you?
For example, companies, we're always looking for partnerships to finance missions that we operate, but also we're tapping into the whole plastic compensation business to say, okay, with us you can compensate your plastic footprint.
Tell us more about the plastic compensation. We know carbon emission compensation. What's the thing behind plastic compensation?
Yeah, well, it's basically the same. So if I'm a company and I'm honest about reducing my plastic footprint, I can say I will physically reduce plastic in my production, but there are certain parts that I can't remove, because plastic is still a great material. It doesn't have to be in the environment. We have to be clear about that. And then you have the opportunity to say, okay, for example, with Everwave, I have the opportunity to say I can reduce it virtually, because the company goes out to a polluted environment and collects the material and brings it back into the cycle.
You were talking about artificial intelligence. Which role does it play?
It plays a very crucial role. So it helps us to better understand the problem. So firstly, we detect hotspots. We better understand the situation. What's the composition of the material? Is there a lot of organic material? Do we have a lot of PET bottles, containers, films, etc.? And by not just collecting litter, but also data, we get a better comprehension of the problem, and will so also be better to solve it in cooperation with local authorities, for example, by identifying the entry pathways.
You were talking about authorities. How are they reacting, for example, in Bosnia on the boat?
Well, they're very interested. So the boat is always a focal point in the region, so a lot of media attention is drawn to it. And politicians as well, want to make sure that they are seen with the boat, and after this, hopefully also not just talk but also act.
How important is sustainability in your daily routine and in your life in general?
Sustainability, myself, a central point. So avoid plastic wherever it's possible. Use the public transport. Go by bicycle, and eat less meat.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges for climate activism in general? Climate activism? Like, what do you think is the biggest challenge? Because it's always like finger pointing. Yeah. What's your approach about that?
Yeah, that's probably one of the most important things is not to blame but to inspire. Because people rather move if you make them move by themselves, so motivate them internally and not just by blaming them because they feel bad. And then, I mean, everyone knows it from its personal life. You rather want to do something that you really want to do, unless not someone tells you it's bad what you're actually doing.
And what about funding? Do you face any political challenges as well?
Well, public funding is quite a challenge, not just for us, but for example, for all kinds of startups. There is a certain entry boundary, I'd say. So if you're a small startup, you have to really wait a long time. So you have to write the proposal, you have to wait until it's accepted or even not accepted. So you have to wait a long time till you get a decision. And you have to fund this time and to move forward and all this. So I hope in the future it will get easier for small startups to get access to public funding that would be really of help.
So you are focusing more on the private sector, right?
Yeah. So we have great cooperations, for example, with our partner Grohe, and they are of great support, and we believe it's also essential that the public sector moves, because a lot of private companies are part of the problem, and it's a problem that we can collectively solve.
And we have a lot of corporates here, big corporates as well, at the GREENTECH Festival. What are you looking for talking to them?
Honesty and the motivation to change something. Yeah.
And are you looking for partnerships as well?
Yeah, definitely. So partnerships and the will, for example, to offer to try the plastic compensation part, to reduce your footprint. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
And what did you learn so far? It's the second day of the GREENTECH Festival.
Well, yesterday it was very exciting. So I was part of the GTF boot camp, and my team won. So
congratulations
credits to Team Zimuti again. And it's very inspiring to see all the small startups, to see the big companies, what's actually happening. So it's a great networking event, and I've learned that we are actually able to change something today and repeatedly every year. We just have to take it step by step and move forward.
And we will come back in the future, in the following year,
Definitely,
right?
yeah.
Thank you very much, Tilman, for your time, and wish you all the best.